The moment we talk about human values, the most important thing that is before us is the concept of a society which is now emerging before us. Human values have always remained most important for all of us, but they have now become the most important thing, the reason you can understand. Because what is happening today is that we have a new generation which is highly educated, no doubt about education, but lacking in values. How? See, what is happening in and around is you might have heard or you might have seen the picture Bhagwan. What it is talking about? It is talking about the modern families where people do not take care of the elderly people.
The children's
Yes,
behavior towards their elders.
yes, exactly. That is the current crisis of human values, because the kind of education that we are getting is preparing you for jobs, no doubt. But are you sensitive enough towards your family, towards elders, towards other people in the society? Are you sensitive towards other living beings in the society? Are you sensitive towards the values of the society? What is the meaning of value? Value means when we are attaining wealth in our life. Of course, wealth attainment is an important goal. Indian societies also values it. Wealth means earning money. You all have to earn money. You all have to have this goal that yes, you have to become wealthy. In fact, in Indian society, Lakshmi and Ganesh and Lakshmi, they are worshipped before anything. If you are starting anything, you will start with worship to Lord Ganesh and Lakshmi, Ma Lakshmi. Lakshmi and Ganesh, they are symbols of wealth. So wealth is important. There is no doubt. In values, in our Indian society's values also, wealth is important. But the problem is that in modern educated people, the question of career becomes more important than overall happiness. Career becomes more important than family. There is then question mark. If you have to choose between family and career, what would you choose? If you have to choose between career and your family values, what would you choose? This is important. Wealth is important, but in Indian concept, we have a very good word, Shubh Labh. Whenever there's anything new, you are starting any good work, you're starting, what do? You write Shubh Labh. What is the meaning of Shubh Labh? Shubh means doing something good. Shubh means noble cause. Shubh means working for noble cause. And Labh means profit, wealth. So if you are doing something, anything in this world, you have two objectives. Good, that is Shubh, wealth creation, that is Labh. But what comes first? Shubh. Shubh comes first, Labh comes second. What does it mean? For us or for everybody, creation of noble goal. Noble goals are most important. They have to take precedence, isn't it? So we all have to plan in such a way, we all have to create a socio-economic system in such a way that our actions lead to overall happiness, our overall goodness. So goodness has to prevail. How can we ensure that there is goodness? How can we ensure that there is happiness all around? There is the question mark. Therefore, you have to create the right set of ideals before us. The film Bhagwan presented before everybody a very clear perspective, which I cannot explain in words. The film gives it in beautifully that if you have choice, try to give preference to your parents. If you have a choice, then try to give preference to your society, to your family. Respect them. Ensure that they remain happy. Your old parents, they remain happy. Sacrifice your personal happiness slightly so that you can have greater happiness as a result. Right? If you can slightly sacrifice your personal happiness, personal freedom, in exchange of greater happiness in your entire family, then what is better? Decide yourself. The Indian values are such where we give greater preference to our nation. Nation comes first, then comes society, then comes family, then comes our very close relatives, and then comes we ourselves. So we put ourselves in the last. First comes nation. So how do we transfer these values? These values were transferred in Indian society through stories. And you can call those stories as case studies. They are case studies. And those case studies are source of inspiration. They transfer values from one generation to another. So can you share a few stories? For example, have you heard the story of Dadichi? Maharshi Dadichi. Maharshi Dadichi donated his life for nation. Nation first. That is the first thing. The first thing is goodness. Goodness of the nation, goodness of the entire world, universe. So that is the first priority. Then we have society. So there were many people who sacrificed themselves for the society, or happiness of the society, right? So there were people who sacrificed themselves and they were given very high respect because they sacrificed themselves for the society. Then your family. Family means, for example, in Indian society, we have a very high respect for characters like Lakshman, Sita. They sacrificed their own life for sake of their own family, their family's values. Then last priority is your own self. If nation is happy, you will automatically remain happy. If society is happy, you will automatically remain happy. If your family is happy, you will automatically remain happy. If you try for only your own happiness, personal happiness, then there is, clash. You are not able to decide, and there is a clash. So how to avoid the clash? The clash is this hierarchy, clarity of this hierarchy, giving priorities to nation, to society, then to family, then yourself. This hierarchy has to be very clear. Now, how do we pass this hierarchy to the young generation? Because for the young generation, we are training them to be career oriented. We are asking them to focus on their career. We are evaluating them on the basis of their career advancement, their career achievements. Now, what do we do? Because greater emphasis on career, asking everybody that yes, you will be evaluated on the basis of which designation you have, which promotion you have got, where is your level in the organization. If you will keep on pressing these points, what will happen? Ultimately, a stage will come wherein there will be, yes, there will be fall. There will be fall in the standards. Excessive emphasis on careers or personal achievements will result in tensions in society. People have to be trained indirectly to those stories. Indian stories are the best case studies. They have to be preserved, they have to be passed on from one generation to another. So the story of Shravan Kumar is not a story, it's a case study, how one should try to respect parents. That's the story of Shravan Kumar. The story of Harshavardhan, very important story. Story of Nal Damayanti, very important story. Nal Damayanti story very clearly depicts that, like in economy, we have ups and downs in our life. There was a king Nal in Indian epic. He was king once, then a war took place and he was supposed to, he was, without anything. He had to disguise himself to survive. So possibilities can be, sometimes you are at top, sometimes you are at bottom. These stories or these case studies give us lessons for life, which can enable our youth. For example, story of Nal Damayanti. What is the value of this story in today's context? What is the importance of this case study in present context? You find today youth are lacking in their ability to withstand failure. Any person who is not getting good marks starts planning to commit suicide. Any person who fails starts planning to commit suicide. The rate of suicides is alarming. We need to create rejuvenation. We need to create ability to withstand failures among the youth. So what should we do? The story of Nal Damayanti should be told to the youth so that they can understand that in life we can have good moments, we can have bad moments. We have to wait. The time is cyclical. Sometimes when it is not favorable time, you may do anything, still you will face failures. Sometimes you may not do anything, still you can reach at the top. This is the cyclical movement of time. And this concept is very well explained by the story of Nal Damayanti, which we should pass on from one generation to another. These great Indian epics, all these great Indian epics, they bring to us the harsh truths about life so that we are well prepared to face the realities of the life. Thank you all.